And of course, the PAT is no longer automatic, but they'll try it from 33 yards to tie the game.
Almost the same concept that they had a couple plays before. They caught him in a defense. The corner's playing outside, Fleming. In top of your screen. Oh, the little stutter post, that's what it was. Before we saw a little out move and inside, but this time that little stutter made Fleming hesitate, and a perfect throw by Peyton Manning.
A beautiful tight spiral by Manning. And here comes the point after, dead center. And the game is tied. And guess what? It was Manning to Sanders on third down again.
What a drive, some really timely throws. But this reminds me of the Broncos of last year, where they have all these plays that they run at you and you just can't keep up with them. They picking you, they're doing this, the screens, and that little stutter on the outside, that double move, very clever and extremely well done by Sanders.
The Broncos drive 80 yards in 10 plays in 1 minute and 51 seconds. And for the second time tonight, it's Manning to Emmanuel on a third down play to the end zone. And now the Chiefs, with 36 seconds to go in regulation, have one timeout remaining.
Tell you what could happen. You look at this team, the Broncos, as they throw the football, you got Demaryius Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders out there. You can't double them both. And they're both #1 receivers, Jim. You know, whatever you want to say, the guy, the football, where you want to throw them as much as you can. Most teams just have one. This Bronco team, they have two big-time #1 receivers.
And they became, just last season, the 5th tandem in NFL history to have both wideouts over 100 receptions in a season.
So when this is over, no matter what happens now, the Denver Broncos, as they go home and they rethink what they're going to be and what they're going to do, what would be your answer, Jim Nantz?
I think it goes back to looking a lot like what they did last year.
They wear you out. Some teams wear you down by running the football. He just keeps throwing it. There was no pass rush really on him that whole drive. He got time to see it, and they set you up with all these moves and the variety of plays, and it really came through for him.
What do you think Kansas City will do here with the timeout and starting at the 20?
I just got a feeling they're going to be a little more careful than they were in that drive before the half. What do you think? I mean, that's what they're going to do. I don't know if you take a knee, maybe you get in the shotgun, you run a draw, you hope somebody, Jamal Charles, can break a run and get you some yards, or you could take a couple throws, but you got to be extremely careful first. It looks like they're going to throw it.
Yep, out of the gun. 3 wides.
Oh, it's down.
The ball is out. It is picked up by the Broncos. Roby, and he's in the end zone for an unbelievable touchdown. A flag is out at the line of scrimmage. Darian Stewart knocked it out of Charles' hands.
There was no flag on the play. No foul.
Oh, my
Ruling
goodness.
on the field is a fumble recovered by Denver. Touchdown.
The man who saved the game last Sunday, Stewart, the former Raven, knocked it loose and would be the #1 pick a year ago for the Broncos. Scooped it up and took it to the house. No question, it's out.
Brandon Marshall, the linebacker.
It was Marshall. There was Stewart who made the contact, but it's Marshall who reaches around and just pops it out. Charles' second fumble lost tonight.
This will be a training reel for all teams. You know, instead of just, you say, well, let's just run it in case or whatever. The chances of something happening there is so slim, but that's what can happen to you instead of just kneeling on the football.
A training reel and a train wreck is what we've just watched.
Yeah, you're right. You never, well, this is a great job. Hustling defense. Watch Brandon Marshall reaches in there. You know, the NFL players are so unbelievable now. Everybody knows how to reach in, punch the football, knock it out, and what a change. How about going back to when it was 14-0, the look on Peyton Manning's face to what we see now? And this whole Broncos team.
Everything's completely different.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is confirmed. Fumble, recovery, touchdown.
Plays in situations, easy for us to say, that are going to be second-guessed so much about what Andy Reid did at the end of the first half and here at the second half.
Jamal Charles, remember, he fumbled in the first quarter, down deep with the Chiefs, threatening to go in. Now he goes in what very likely will be the difference in this game.
Yeah, it's tough.
At least he held on to the helmet.
I'll tell you what we saw, too, though. This will make your, first off, this is going to be a devastating defeat for the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, beyond that.
This is, you know, you think about early season games that you have a hard time
Overcoming.
shaking, like the Giants.
Yes.
And now this one for the Chiefs, you got a 14-point lead at home. You got the Broncos on the ropes. You got a fading confidence level on that entire Bronco offense.
Well, it kind of shows you, which we knew, the Broncos, they're a dangerous team on both sides of the ball. We really thought their defense, I think it's going to be spectacular this year. But they fight. And we kind of talked about Peyton. He just keeps coming at you. He keeps coming. He's not afraid that things went bad. I'll never forget that he was playing a Monday night game in Denver. He threw in San Diego. He threw 5 interceptions, 6 for the night at the end. He just kept throwing that football, trying to win the game.
Remember, the Broncos just last Sunday won on a defensive touchdown by Aqib Talib. And now they are 27 seconds away from a defensive touchdown, winning it again for them. This time, Bradley Roby. Number 29 taking it 29 yards on the return.
You finally think you're in position to maybe overtake this Broncos team. That's what they've just been so overpowering the last couple years.
And the Chiefs pull off a miracle. It's Smith. Remember, they have only one timeout left, and he's crossed the 30. And they're going to have to take it here. Peyton Manning, 26 of 45, 256 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But that's 3 touchdowns after he threw the pick. And he looked, as the game went on,
yes,
he got strong.
He definitely got better. He got his rhythm. He got his legs under him. And like I said, they don't wear you down with the run. In the past, they haven't. They do it with the pass. And this was some statement game by Peyton Manning. Give him a lot of credit. He hung in there. It looked like it was just going to be a horrible night. I actually was sitting here thinking, this is going to just explode.
It could have been.
Against the Denver Broncos, and they hung in there. He made some really big throws on that first touchdown drive. They picked up the blitzes.
Smith, they're all over him. And they may not even have a chance to reset.
Malik Jackson back there.
Wade Phillips, what a difference he's made. His defense winning it the last 2 weeks. This game is over. This crowd cannot believe it. Nor can we.
Some gut check by the Broncos, and they come through.
2 touchdowns in a 9-second span. Look at Owen Daniels getting one more clean hit on Peyton Manning tonight.
Yeah, that's got to be. I mean, we met Peyton last night. We talked. I'm not going to say I saw the doubt in his face, nothing like that. But he thought they were going to come out here, control the ball, run it. And look what it turns into. And, man, that's got to be some confidence builder, even for Peyton Manning after all his great success in the NFL.
And they've got the record now for 13 consecutive road wins inside the division, bettering the feat that had first belonged to the 49ers back 87 through 90 that went from Walsh through Seifert's teams. Gary Kubiak now 2-0 as the head coach. And no one saw this finish coming. Peyton comes over and high fives the defensive coordinator. Yeah, a whole lot learned in this one tonight. The Broncos defense is pretty remarkable, and Peyton Manning is far from finished.
What we start the game out with, there's a lot of questions out there. And, you know, look, I'm no different than anybody else that said, oh boy, I'm one of those. Last year when Tom Brady was here and he lost, I said, well, maybe this is the end of this run by the New England Patriots.
I always got back to that second game that Peyton played as a Bronco at Atlanta, and they had 3 first-half picks, and people were starting to kind of whisper the same things they were these last couple of weeks. But the legend of Manning is living on. Let's go down to Tracy.
Well, thanks a lot, Jim. I think the look on your face as you walked over here says it all. Tell us what's going through your mind after what took place tonight.
I'm not sure I've ever been in one quite like that, and I'm curious if Nance or Sims have seen one like that either. That was a new one for me, and it was tough all night. They're good. I tell you, their defense is so much better than last year. They're so stout against the run. They just make it hard all night, and so we just kept plugging. We just kept plugging, and got a couple at the end of the first half, and then the third quarter kind of just struggled and got one field goal. But obviously, when we had to have it, our defense kept us in it. With some turnovers and holding them to some field goals. And that last drive was really good. Really proud of our young offensive line. No poise issues, no communication issues, and DT made a couple of awesome plays and then finally got Emmanuel in the end zone.
And you mentioned your defense for the second straight game being able to seal the victory. What can you say about their performance?
Oh, yeah, I mean, just the superlatives just go on and on. They're playing great team defense. Everybody's kind of doing their part, right? They're getting sacks, they're getting tip balls, they're getting pressure on the quarterback, leading to bad throws, and that's the sign of a good defense. And offensively, we're just going to keep plugging, keep sawing wood, and obviously that last drive, 2 weeks in a row we've had 2 final drives that sure have kind of put a stamp on the whole game, and I think we can build off of that.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations.
Okay, thanks, Tracy.
I've watched Peyton Manning. He's won a lot of games. I think that's the happiest I've ever seen him after a game in his career. That was something special to watch.
He hasn't smiled like that in a football atmosphere since last mid-November.